how do you master the Hario V60? Since we're all using different coffee equipment, there will never be one recipe that is perfect for everyone. And that is what this brewing guide will solve. This video combines multiple pieces of knowledge on coffee that I've created videos on in the past and compresses it to really show the adaptive process that a barista goes through every single time they open up a new bag of coffee. It will allow you to master and understand the Hario V60 by tweaking the extraction variables that you can control. This is the process I'll teach you. Step 1 is to brew your cup of coffee. I will show you my daily Hario V60 routine, but feel free to use other step-by-step brewing guides like these over here. The main goal is to pick a brewing guide and stick to the steps. Step 2 is to taste your coffee and identify its extraction level and deliciousness. The coffee taste will be one of these 4 states. It can be under-extracted, over-extracted, balanced but bland, and finally, balanced and delicious. Step 3 is to tweak your brewing recipe variables according to what you tasted. The Hario V60 variables you'll be tweaking are grind size, brewing ratio, and water temperature. After going through steps 1 to 3, we repeat the process, but this time with the modified brewing recipe. The goal of this process is to slowly hone in and brew a balanced and delicious cup of coffee. Don't worry, this cycle sounds complicated, but I'll help you at every step of the way. Step 1. Brew. This is what you need. A Hario V60, a scale, a filter, something to stir with, a kettle and also boiling water, a grinder and also coffee beans, and something to document and write with. If this is your first time brewing, use these brewing variables right over here. Start off by measuring your beans and then grinding them. Check for grind consistency, so it should be around 700 to 1000 microns. Then start the brewing process. Fold your coffee filter seams, put that in and preheat the brewer and cup. Toss out your water, pour in the grinds, shake it out, make it nice and level, add a hole, and start pouring. Pour in a slow circle, making sure to saturate all the grinds. Stir the coffee bed, making sure that all the grinds at the bottom are saturated. Then wait around 10 seconds before pouring again. I do it quite intuitively, so I just do one continuous pour, and if the water level reaches really high up on the filter, I stop, wait 10 to 15 seconds, and then continue pouring the remaining amount. Once you've reached your desired water level, you do the Scott-Rouse spin, which is to swirl the Hario V60 like so. This brings the grinds down from the sides and levels the bed. And then we wait. Once it's all done, your bed should look like this, nice and level. Stir your coffee and enjoy. I recommend letting your coffee cool down for 5 to 10 minutes to not burn your taste buds. Step 2. Taste. If you aren't sure about taste qualities and extraction level, check out this video where I talk about what good coffee is supposed to taste like. Link down below in the description. If this is the first time you're using this guide, these are the starting variables you brewed with. Write them down in a sketchbook or note-taking app and label it something like brew number 1. I've also created this template that you can print out and use when you're brewing with this process. Link is found in the description. Jot down your thoughts on the extraction level and taste. I like to rate extraction and taste like this. I draw a horizontal line, and I draw a line in the middle. The middle equals balanced, the right side of the line equals over-extracted, and the left side of the line equals under-extracted. I circle around the area where I think the taste is. For taste, I draw the same horizontal line, and I draw a tick mark at the end. The more delicious the cup is, the more right on the horizontal line this circle goes. If your cup of coffee was perfectly balanced and delicious in taste, guess what? You're done. You've succeeded. You don't need to go on to step 3. Just keep on using this brewing recipe that you have until you're done the bag. That's it. Good job. Step 3. Tweak. If your coffee doesn't taste good, your coffee will be in one of these 3 camps. It will be under-extracted, or over-extracted, or balanced and bland. If your cup is under-extracted, jump to this segment right over here and fix your cup. If your cup is over-extracted, jump right over here and fix your cup. And if your cup is balanced and bland, jump right over here and fix your cup. So your cup of coffee is under-extracted. Using our starting brewing recipe as an example, this is how you would tweak the variables. Choose one of the 3 variables. If you tweak the brewing ratio, increase it by 1 increment, which would mean using 15 grams more water. If you tweak the water temperature, you need to increase the heat. Since we're already using boiling water, this variable cannot be tweaked further. If you tweak the grind size, you need to grind finer. Change the grind setting 1 increment finer. If your cup of coffee was extremely under-extracted, change the variable by 2 increments instead of 1. So your cup of coffee is over-extracted. Using our starting brewing recipe as an example, this is how you would tweak the variables. Choose one of the 3 variables. If you tweak the brewing ratio, decrease it by 1 increment, which would mean using 15 grams less water. If you tweak the water temperature, you need to decrease the heat. Lower the water by 3 degrees Celsius. If you tweak the grind size, you need to grind coarser. Change the grind setting 1 increment coarser. If your coffee was extremely over-extracted, change the variable by 2 increments instead of 1. So your cup of coffee was balanced and bland. Using our starting brewing recipe as an example, this is how you would mix it up and create a new extraction balance. Choose 2 of the 3 variables and tweak them in opposite extraction directions. Use your best judgment to choose what variable to increase and decrease. Here are some examples. This example chooses brewing ratio and water temperature. To decrease extraction, lower the water temperature by 6 degrees Celsius. To increase extraction, increase the brewing ratio by 2 increments using 30 grams more water. This example chooses brewing ratio and grind size. To decrease extraction, lower the brewing ratio by 2 increments using 30 grams less water. To increase extraction, change the grind setting 2 increments finer. This example chooses grind size and water temperature. To decrease extraction, lower the water temperature by 6 degrees Celsius. To increase extraction, change the grind setting 2 increments finer. Now that you've gone through steps 1 to 3, go and jump back to step 1 and repeat the brewing process. You will continue this process until you land on a delicious and balanced cup of coffee. Like I said earlier, I will help you at every single step along the way. So, if you have any questions about any of the steps in this video, or you have a specific question about your setup or your beans or something that you just don't understand, comment down below and I will do my best to give you a helping hand. If you love the Hario V60, you might also love this pin over here that I've made. It's the Hario V60 pin. I've also made a lot of other pins on other brewing devices, and all of them can be found at brewinghabits.com. And to end things off, I'm gonna pass you along to one of these 2 playlists. This one over here is a live stream brewing playlist where I showcase this iterative process, brew, taste, tweak, with multiple brewing devices. This playlist over here showcases videos that will teach you the basics of coffee knowledge. So, live stream brewing, basic coffee knowledge. I'll see you there. How's the week?